What up, y'all? It's your girl Twilight. I'm just coming from a very good jog. Laps that I did in the park, and it was invigorating. I want to talk to you guys today about why this motherfucker can't decide what they gonna do. I want to talk to you guys today about depression. And so I'm going to add a few people and then I'll get started. I'll be brief. I shall be brief. Please stop. So I'll be brief, guys, with this message. Obviously, I'm out and about, but something just hit me and I'm like, let me tell the people what I just received. So maybe this might help some people who are experiencing bouts of depression right now. So if you're experiencing bouts of depression and anxiety right now, going through all these changes with the world, society, COVID-19, dealing with the truth, the illusion falling apart, you're going to feel a way. And there isn't really anyone that isn't affected by the overall world events. Many of us have primed and prepared our consciousness for a paradigm shift. So a lot of us who are spiritually in tune are still internally okay. Now, a lot of people fake the funk externally. They try to show you where they are financially. They try to keep up appearances, facades, and things of that nature, just so that, they can feel okay with themselves. But internally, they might still be dealing with depression. They might still be dealing with anxiety. They just ain't really making it known to the public. So these are people that's going to sneak and watch this video. Okay? All right. So you know what? I'm not even going to invite any people. I'm going to just let the spirit move it, because right now I'm on the move and I'm going to say what I'm going to say. What's up, Ashley McDaniel? So depression, guys, is any part of yourself where you're not allowing love to exist. Okay? It is where you are not allowing love to exist. Now, I don't mean by that romantic love. Okay? And I also don't mean that all of the scientific explanations, meaning that you have a low you have a low count of making serotonin, which is a neurotransmitter that causes us to feel good. I'm not discounting what the medical profession says. In fact, I would say it even ties in to the metaphysical and the emotional wellness understanding of what depression is. Depression is where you're not letting love. And when I say love, I mean the divine. I mean the Most High. I mean the feeling of full and total acceptance of self, shortcomings, flaws, etc., etc. So I'll give you a quick example. A lot of people are depressed because they feel like they haven't achieved certain things in their life by a certain age. They feel like they are not where they want to be in life. Even if some other people see them as successful, they just feel like they're behind the curve. Maybe they aren't in the executive position. Maybe they haven't started their own business. Maybe they haven't graduated school. Maybe they haven't worked a job in some years. Maybe they haven't gotten to the financial plateaus that they want to get to. Maybe they're not married. Maybe they're not in a relationship. Maybe they're not happy with their relationship. All of these things, though we have some control over it, we don't necessarily have control over that, people. A lot of people, especially black folks, are uneducated about how the economy works, and they really don't understand how the economy can affect you. They think that their grind is not official all the time whenever they're not financially fruitful or financially prosperous. They think it's their grind and the effort that they put into it. And so either they end up giving up because they feel like they just can't win at nothing. B, they end up feeling like they got to work harder or they're not doing enough. And C, they don't even have the right strategy to position them into financial wellness because they're not educated enough on what it's going to take. And they also don't have the mental, emotional stability within themselves to truly magnify financial stability. All that shit is a frequency thing. And it's like if you are emotionally unstable on the inside, dealing with guilt, shame, envy, and all of these low vibrational emotions, they don't match abundance. So it's like it's a whole reprogramming of the mind, rewiring of the way that we think, trying to learn to accept and incorporate universal law and our own conclusions that we draw of why we are in the situation that we're in. Now, I don't say this to take people off the hook for being lazy and unmotivated. I am saying that even if you as motivated as the fuck, you cannot change the way the economy works. For example, in 2008, the economy tanked. Okay, we were in a damn near a recession depression, just like we're in now. Inflation has increased. Job opportunities have dwindled to the point where I've had to create my own job opportunity. And I'm grateful to know that I can create job opportunities for others. You know, if you go to FB, that's B as in boy, .me/TUG, T as in Tom, U as in umbrella, Tug, Chicago, you'll see that I have a staffing agency. We hire part-time and full-time customer service reps to work from home for Fortune 500 companies. So I had to create me a job because the last recession after I was getting out of college put me on my ass. So it's really just understanding people. A lot of times we don't have the financial knowledge. We just think that our grind is the only thing that can affect what we have as people of color. But a lot of times we're just not educated. How many of you knew anything about business loans before that fucking 10K came out? Huh? How many of you understood that you could get grants and shit from having an LLC? And if you did understand it, was it common knowledge? Or is this something that you just happened to stumble across? You see what I'm saying? So our paradigm has always been geared towards being workers. Shit, we went from slaves, captives, slaves, to workers. And now we're just getting a taste of entrepreneurship as a people. So when you feeling depression, when you are feeling that feeling of emptiness inside, if you are feeling that feeling that, you know, that sadness, it just comes over you sometimes. It's where you're not allowing love at. And it could be evidence in your life that does solidify why you would feel disappointed in a particular area just because you haven't achieved what you set out to achieve in that area. But sometimes I'm telling you people, sometimes it's not because we don't try or that we're not good enough or that we're not trying hard enough. It's that we are ignorant to know what steps to take. It doesn't matter how old we are. We could be ignorant to know what steps to take. Number one, we could feel unworthy. And number two, it could totally be something that's systematically controlled. So like I said, I'm not relinquishing the fact that our grind is an important part to us achieving as people of color. I'm just simply saying that our grind is not the only thing. So if you think it's your grind and you ain't got no knowledge and you don't have no financial literacy or you don't have the self-worth to see yourself through something, these are all key components to success, you know? So how do you put the love in the areas where you've denied yourself love? because you don't feel like you've won in that particular area, or you don't feel like you've proven yourself in that area, or you don't feel like you're good enough in that area. It's one simple phrase that I like to use that brings me back to a centered thought process of who and what I am and what I am capable of. And I tell myself this simple phrase: I am enough. I am enough. What's up, Reginald? What's up, Asut? Shamika? How are you, sister? KOE, how are you? Yes, I tell myself I am enough. People, we don't tell ourselves enough that we are enough. We are always looking for that next accomplishment, that next like, love, or comment, that next viral video, that next business opportunity. And we have not yet accepted and adapted that we are enough. And that's for good reason. Okay? If you look at today, you can already see that black men are reduced to what they can do financially and how big their dick is, how much money they got in their pocket, whether or not they can overcome all the stereotypes. How many kids you got, nigga? How many baby mamas you got, nigga? You know? It's reduced down to that. So we're reduced to trying to overcome stereotypes. Black women are sexualized, our wombs exploited, you know? So it is hard to see yourself in a positive light and a positive self-image when you are constantly being told you are worthless and what you have to offer is only reserved to something very menial, a minuscule part of your person and your being. They don't want to see your soul. They don't want to see your heart. They don't want to know that you're genuine. They don't give a fuck that you're real. What they want to know is, can you please me? Can I benefit from you? You know? And that's the type of world we live in. Oh, shit. I got to get up out of here. That's the type of world we live in that reduces you down to your lowest common denominator, objectifies you. So, to me, people, when you say the phrase, I am enough, when you are feeling low, when you're feeling down, when you're feeling like something about you isn't good enough, that restores the divine and gives the divine an opportunity to feel itself in that place where you are not allowing love to develop. Okay? You might not feel a change right away, but I want you to understand that you are putting that word out into the universe. And when you put that out into the universe, you start to manifest it, whether you like it or not. And everything the universe will do to conspire to bring that truth into your experience. So saying, I am enough, when you feel like your pockets is weak. Saying, I am enough, when you feel like you should have been married at 25. Saying, I am enough, when your partner walks out on you and says, hey, you know what? This shit ain't gonna work for me. Saying, I am enough, when you've given all you got to your children and they don't see you. Saying, I am enough, when you know you done did some shady, fucked up shit and you a dickwad. You say, I am enough, but you still want to make sure you atone to balance the scales, okay? But you have to get to the point where you can say to yourself, I am enough. Place love in areas where you are denying yourself by being ashamed of it, by ridiculing it, by demeaning it, by suppressing it. And say and replace that feeling that you feel, because it only starts off with a little sadness, a little melancholy, then more cortisol, more of the stress and negative hormones start to secrete. And then next thing you know, you full out in a big old bout of depression. Okay? And so just to put yourself in a position where you can start to change that narrative for yourself, when you start to have those negative thoughts, say, I am enough. When people start to impact you negatively, say, I am enough. When people fail to see your value after you've given them everything you got, say, I am enough. You are going to start to change the paradigm. You're going to start to change the energy. You're going to start to change the frequency at which you vibrate on, and watch the universe start to conspire to move every motherfucking thing out your way that do not line up with I am enough. You feel me? So you ain't got to be nobody. You ain't got to act like nobody. You ain't got to talk like nobody. You don't have to represent spirituality in a quintessential way. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to be this type of woman, that type of man, this type of nothing. I am enough. You feel me? I'm enough. Repeat after me. I'm enough. We are enough. And the areas that we need to grow, develop, heal in, do not signify we're not good enough. It signifies that we are fucking human. And that's all to it. So as long as you are continuing to work on yourself, as long as you are continuing to be accountable, as long as you are continuing to fortify giving and reciprocal relationships, honey, you're on the path. It's when you're in denial, sitting around out here just being trash, doing fuck shit, and not atoning for the things, the negative energy and the sadness and the letting your depression spill over on others. When you're not atoning, that's when, you probably dealing with some wickedness inside. But ultimately, not being perfect does not mean you're not worthy. It does not mean you are not an amazing person. It just means that you got work to do. And ain't nothing wrong with doing work on yourself and your soul, and still knowing that you are healed, healthy, whole, and seeing everything come to fruition before the picture is clearly painted. You feel me? So that's my word, guys. I'm almost home. This was a great day. It looks like it's about to storm here right outside of Chicago. So the weather been good to me. I got to get a good jog in, a good walk in, and I got to talk to y'all. So with all that being said, I just want to say one last thing. You are enough. I am enough. We are enough. Peace.